You probably already know Socrates, the philosopher behind the quote, "I know that I know nothing," who also laid the fundamentals of Western philosophy. Well, here are 5 facts that you may or may not know about the ancient Greek philosopher. Make sure that you stay till the end and comment down below the things that you've learned today. Socrates was mocked in theatrical plays. Today, Socrates is widely recognized as one of the greatest thinkers who ever lived. In classical Athens, though, Socrates was widely criticized and was the object of satire and mockery. Liking the Athenian philosopher was a rather unpopular opinion. Socrates was a nonconformist, and he would express ideas and opinions that would contradict people's unquestionable beliefs that directed the way they see the world and themselves. The ancient Greek playwright Aristophanes, known as the father of comedy, would often criticize Socrates through his works. In the play The Clouds, Nepheles, Socrates is presented as a fraud with low hygiene. He is also referred to as a sophist. The latter were controversial intellectuals who made a fortune by selling their wisdom to wealthy Athenians. Plato and other Socrates students believed that Aristophanes contributed to the unpopularity of their teacher. Many centuries later, Socrates' image was restored with another satirical play, this time bearing his name. Voltaire's Socrates presents the Athenian philosopher as the victim of a group of corrupt Athenians who felt threatened by his revolutionary ideas. We know Socrates through the works of others. To this day, we do not know of any notes or scripts left by Socrates. We know about his ideas, life, and personality through his students, predominantly Plato and Xenophon, that I will be calling Xenophon. These philosophers presented their teacher in a positive light. We also know Socrates through the satirical comedies of Aristophanes, who portrayed the philosopher as a clueless scammer. Historians often refer to this as the Socratic problem. It is impossible to get an objective image about people without getting to know them through their work. Reading about them through their followers and their haters can only lead us to view them from a black and white perspective. Socrates was skeptical about democracy. The philosopher was skeptical about everything and everyone, even about his own knowledge. Democracy, the form of governance that was born in the city of Athens and that is still perceived as the least flawed form of governance, was of course criticized by the Athenian philosopher. In Plato's dialogues, Socrates appears to have negative feelings about democracy. In Plato's Republic, to be specific, Socrates compares a city-state to a ship. Everyone agrees that the captain of a vessel should be someone who knows all about seafaring. However, when it comes to governance, almost anyone can be elected. Not only are the candidates unaware of their own incapabilities, but voters themselves often elect someone based on intuition rather than skill. Does that mean that Socrates hated democracy? Not necessarily. Criticizing a person or an idea and finding its flaws does not equal hate. The Athenian philosopher wanted to warn us about the importance of voting based on rationality rather than emotions, and keeping an eye on the demagogues who seek at gaining power by exploiting emotions. We all use Socrates' methods to this day. Socrates is known for his electing method of debating, also known as meftiki, and for the Socratic irony, of course. The first is a method of stimulating critical thinking by drawing out ideas and eliminating contradicting hypotheses, and the second is a method that aims at exposing someone's ignorance. Even if you were unaware of these two methods, you might realize that you have been using them all this time. Let's say that you are still a teenager living with your parents. Your parents left for the weekend and you decided to throw a party against their will. You were able to clean up before they came back, but your mother noticed some shortages in the liquor cabinet and some solo cups in the trash can. She enters your room pretending she is unaware of the party you organized. She asks questions about the activities you did during the weekend, and since you are lying, you fall into several contradictions. You end up admitting that you disobeyed your parents, and your mother didn't even have to make any accusations or raise her voice. Well, your mother in this case used the Socratic irony, a method trusted for centuries by investigators, politicians, and judges. Socrates was sentenced to death at the age of 71. Many people falsely believe that Socrates committed suicide by drinking poison. The philosopher did end up dying by drinking a cup of hemlock at the age of 71. However, he was forced to do so after being tried for heresy and for corrupting the youth with his teachings. A jury of 500 men had to decide whether they should give Socrates the death penalty or a heavy fine. When asked to suggest his own punishment, Socrates asked to be fed for free for the good he did to society. The jury decided to give Socrates the death penalty. So, let me know what you already knew in the comment section down below. In the description, you can always find your Udemy discount for learning Greek and some other useful links. Also, make sure that you are a subscriber here on YouTube because you don't want to miss other similar videos in the future. Helinika is a community of people who love Greece and its history and culture. So if you can identify with that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Well, I will see you in the next video. Bye!